Hi, this is Mike Moo from HIPAA Watchdog. This video is just going to show you how to turn on Windows full disk encryption or Bitlocker Pro, which is the drive encryption technology provided by Microsoft that is complementary for Windows Vista Ultimate Enterprise Editions and Windows 7 Ultimate Enterprise Editions, probably Windows 8 Ultimate Enterprise and Pro, and also Windows 10. So I have this on Windows 10 Pro as an example because that is the current most up-to-date operating system. And yes, I do recommend that if you qualify for the free upgrade to Windows 10, definitely consider it, put it down in the action plan in terms of upgrading. It is that much better. All right, so Bitlocker Drive Encryption. This is the overview. You can look at the URL over here. It just gives you an overview about the drive encryption and why it matters. Now, the drive encryption was designed to work with something called a Trusted Platform Module, which is TPM. If you have one of the more recent computer systems that have a TPM, and I know that a lot of Dell computer systems that were designed for the office or HP computer systems that were designed for the office have such a chip already enabled in there. Now, if you built your own computer system, and in my example, mine is built by myself, and I don't have the TPM module microchip in the motherboard, and you can read up more about that, then I'm going to have to configure things a certain way if I want it for the boot up drive. So I'm going to show you how to do that. Now, as far as enabling BitLocker encryption, you'll either be able to or not, depending on what version of Windows that you're running. So back then in Windows Vista, only the Ultimate Enterprise editions work, and that pretty much if you have a Windows server and you use that for file sharing, etc., and as a file server, whatever other server you want, an Exchange server, chances are if you're adding on a computer systems onto the domain, then you do have these versions that can do it. If not, just upgrade to Windows 10. It's definitely worthwhile. All right, so again, back to the demo. In Windows 10, there are a couple ways to access that. You can open up File Explorer, okay, and then look at your drives that you have available. And it's real simple. Just right-click on it. One of the options is going to be turning on BitLocker, and that's pretty much what you need to do. So I recommend doing a full-on backup of your computer system before you do this. And realize that what you're going to have to do is pick up a new good password in order to unlock the drive, and you'll have to use this password in order to unlock the drive at any time. So in this example, what I'm doing is I am doing a full disk encryption on a particular partition or drive that's separate. Okay, and you can do this for any drives that are connected to your computer system. So if you designate one computer that you plug in a portable drive or USB flash drive that you want encrypted, this is the way you do it, right? You right-click and you choose BitLocker Drive Encryption, type in a password, and click Next, and it will do its thing. It'll do the full encryption, and pick a good password in order to do that. It'll take a little while to do, so I'm not going to do that right here, right now. I'm going to show you how to do a full disk encryption on the, a lot of computers only have one hard drive, particularly for the enterprise. So I'm going to cancel this one, and I'm going to show you how you do that on the Windows C thing if you don't have a Trusted Platform module. All right, so again, I'm just right-clicking on a drive, and for those of you guys that are not technically minded, I highly recommend that you have your IT team do it, or your IT staff do it, or someone professional that has done this before, because there are some configurations that you want to do, and you want to make sure you don't mess things up. Right, especially if it's a critical device. So try it on a computer system that is not going to be used and not critical, or a brand new one. Feel free to try it out there. If you want to get your hands dirty, leave this in the hands of professionals. Right. So the Windows C drive is actually the boot drive, and typically when you buy a laptop, it pretty much only has one physical hard drive in there. Typically, that's the case. It might be in multiple partitions. One of them is going to be the Windows operating system or recovery, and then the other one's going to be where Windows is actually located, and maybe another one might be for data. All right. Pick the correct one. In my case, I'm doing the boot volume. All right, I have a flash storage boot volume. I'm going to turn this on. Now, what you might see is this, okay, because I don't have a Trusted Platform module. My computer did not have that at the time when I bought the motherboard. So it says this device cannot use a Trusted Platform module. Your administrator must set the Allow BitLocker without a Compatible Tpm option in the Require Additional Authentication at Startup policy for OS volumes. So what exactly does that mean? Well, it means that one, it's telling me that I can't do it right now, simply because I need to go in there and configure something first. So in order to do that, you do have to be administrator. Okay, so what does that mean to be administrator? Well, if you have the admin rights to configure your computer system, you are the administrator. And if you don't, chances are you shouldn't be doing this anyway. You should contact your system's administrator and have that taken care of. Okay, so if you are, or if you're the lone person that uses it, make sure you have a full backup of your computer system before you proceed. In case you mess something up, or in case you type in a password wrong, or you can't unlock it, once you encrypt it, that's pretty much it. All right, so how do we get past that issue that we had? Well, what we have to do is we have to edit some policies here for this computer system. So what you do is you click on the start, and then you type in the policy editor, and that is, let's see, go ahead and type in gpedit.msc. Again, that's gpedit.msc. That'll open up a Microsoft console, which will then allow you to edit your local group policy editor. Again, don't do this if you have a server. This is really set through the server policies. This is really to show you how you can do this on your own computer system, or if you're just on, you don't have a server, right? You don't have a system admin. Okay, so once you go over here, what you have to do is you got to go into computer configuration. You could double click into that. Go into administrative templates, and then Windows components, and then what we're looking for is Bitlocker drive encryption right here. Okay, now under here you want to go into operating system drives, because that's what it is that we want to go ahead and set things up there. Okay, so right here, require authentication at startup. What you're going to do is you're going to double click that, and then what you're going to do is you're going to enable it. Okay, so when you enable this, there are a couple of settings here down here that will allow you to configure whether or not you have a compatible TPM or not. So basically, we want to enable this setting here that allows Bitlocker without a compatible TPM. All right, so this will require a password or startup key on a USB flash drive. So make sure you have USB flash drive available that you will use to then unlock the computer system. Okay, so I apologize if I didn't mention this earlier before, but these are some of the things you want to prepare. And actually, if you are getting a link to this video, chances are we already talked about this, and I told you this is something that you need to watch to figure out what it is that you need to do to configure the full disk encryption on your entire PC. Okay, so you do that, you click on apply, boom, that's it. All right, so now that we have the policy editing set up there, I can just go ahead and go on in here and turn Bitlocker on. Okay, so that's how you do it. So you can choose how you want to unlock your drive at startup. I recommend doing the USB flash drive option, because this is something that you carry that you will then use to unlock, rather than having to type in all these passwords all the time. But you could also do enter a password as well. Okay, so there's two options because we enabled and allowed both different options. All right, so you can just type in a password, make sure it's a pretty darn good password. It's no use at all if you have a bad password. So make sure you look at my presentation on passwords. I know it's long and boring, just look at the couple of slides. It tells you exactly what it is, and when in doubt, just use a random password generator. Okay, so I'm gonna cancel that one. They have some tips on creating a strong password. But now, that's how you do it, but I'm just going to show you on a different hard drive, because I am not going to encrypt my my Windows drive, and I'm just going to do it here. Okay, so pretending that we're just going to type in a password, and I am just going to type in a simple password. So I'm not truly going to do this whole encryption on here. All right, so what you can do is you can back up your recovery key, and this is highly recommended. Now, you can print a recovery key, you can save it to a file, you can save it to USB flash drive, or save to your Microsoft account. It's probably safest to save it to, or probably safest to print a recovery key and put it somewhere safe. Safe deposit box, safe, fireproof safe, waterproof safe, somewhere on location. But if you do want to put it on a USB flash drive, you can do that. You can save to a Microsoft account, obviously, as you could do that if you have one. But I'm just going to save this to a file, just to show you. So see, this is the Bitlocker recovery key. Save in a safe place. I'm just going to put it in drive D. Open. Save. Okay, sorry. It cannot non-removable drive. So actually, I do have to save that into a non-removable drive, and drive D is not a non-removable drive. So I'll go ahead and save it. Save S. There we go. All right, saved. Perfect. Now it gives you the option on how much of the drive you want to encrypt. All right. So there are two options on here. I recommend just doing the encrypt the entire drive. It's slower, but best for PCs and drives already in use. Okay. Encrypt use disk space only. This is for new drives, but I'm just going to encrypt the whole drive. Click on next. Are you ready to encrypt this drive? You will be able to unlock this drive using a password. Encryption might take a while depending on the size of the drive, and until encryption is complete, your files will not be protected. So those are very, very important steps there to read. So make sure you read everything before you continue. Start encrypting, and basically that's it. Okay. So the next time, or when this is done, it's going to take a little while. It's a 150 gigabyte hard drive. It's one of the older 10K RPM hard drives. It's just going to take a little while. So right now, it is going to be encrypting, and once it's 100%, then it is encrypted. Now, every time I want to access that disk, I will either need to use one of those options to unlock it. Whether or not if I chose a USB flash drive, I will have to plug that USB hard drive into the computer using a good USB port in order for it to get that key to unlock it. All right. Or two, it will ask you to enter in that password. So that password that I typed in there, that really short one, I will need to use that then to get into the data. All right. Or three, the Microsoft account, that's a backup. If I forget or somehow lose my key to get in there, I lose my USB flash drive for one thing. Or if I forget my password, if I saved it to my Microsoft account, I can then get through to the Microsoft account to then retrieve my key. All right, so obviously you want to protect your Microsoft account pretty well. All right, but in my option, I used the password, and I'm pretty sure I'm going to remember this password because it was pretty short and sweet, and it's in my memory. It's not going to be a problem. But I also have that option where I saved it to a removable hard drive. All right, that happened to be my drive F. But in your case, it's a USB plug-in hard drive. Okay, so they won't let you save it onto a local hard drive or drive that is on your computer system. As long as it's removable, you're okay. Okay, so this is going to take a while. That's pretty much it. That's how you enable BitLocker drive encryption. So let's say hypothetically I did do the BitLocker on my drive C. I'll also need my password to get in or my USB key. Okay, now I recommended USB key again is because we all forget passwords and we carry around keys and important things, and if you have that, then you can unlock it and just don't lose it. You keep that with the other important things that you need to keep with you. Okay, and then of course have backups, right? If you have printed out that key, put it in a safe deposit box, make sure no one has access to it that isn't supposed to have access to it, make that part of the emergency plan, right? So now what does this protect? Well, it protects all the data. Once it's fully encrypted, it protects the entire drive. Okay, without a key, you can't get in. All right, and it's only about as strong as your password. So make sure your password is really strong. Now, here's the thing, though. Here's what you need to remember about full drive encryption. Okay, if I unlocked this drive right now while I'm using it, let's say hypothetically it is already the encryption's complete done. If it's unlocked, and let's just say this is on a laptop, and the laptop gets stolen, they can figure out how to use the password to get in, or because maybe I didn't have a good password, I didn't lock the workstation, they took the laptop. While the machine's on and activated, etc., during your account, they have full access to the drive. Okay? That's right. They have full access to drive because it remained unlocked while you were logged in. Okay? So really, this protection is really great. Is making sure that you locked up your system or shut down your computer system, or unplug the drive. You unplug the drive in a scenario where you're using USB or USB flash drive or USB hard drive. If that ever gets stolen, then you're pretty safe, right? You had a good password on there. It's fully encrypted. Chances are the chances of a breach happening from that are going to be very low because you did the proper encryption on there. Okay. All right. Just make sure the password's good. Make sure that it's fully encrypted. And of course, always do the backups of the passwords. This is just basically how you do BitLocker drive encryption. I'm sorry I got a little technical, but this is for people who manage a small practice or office and who really need to turn on full disk encryption and they're kind of IT and they have some sort of technical knowledge, they don't mind going in there and doing some of these changing the policies in order to do the full disk encryption on the C drive. All right, thanks for watching. If you have a Macintosh, obviously I have that video on how to do that. You should go and check that one out. That one's actually a lot easier to do. There's a lot more policies involved with Windows PCs, but that's Bitlocker drive encryption. So you turn it on and you automatically already reduced the amount of risk associated with losing that drive or that computer, as long as you follow those steps that I recommended. Thanks for watching, and I will catch you in the next video.